All right, round has begun. Let's go ahead and take a look at everything here with all that in regards. All right, briefing. Oh, is this going to be another classic airfield take? No, it's against the airfield. Okay, interesting. Excuse me. So, back to the mission briefing. Made by Despo. Background, Chernagorsk has been invaded by the U.S. Of course it has. After a few days of fighting, the U.S. Army has managed to get dangerously close to the main Chernagorsk airport. If the Chernagorsk Defense Force loses it, they will most certainly lose the war. Thus, the decision to counterattack has been made, trying to push back the Americans in desperation. Area of operations, forest, hills, open fields, and a big castle. Note, most buildings in the castle are destructible except for the one tower with the U.S. flag on it. Also, I recommend to use the briefing tables, mainly for Sector 2, as there are some things I added that are not on the map. So they have custom briefing tables that show the AOs, which are pretty cool. I think it's a script that's a derivative off of Sav's briefing table. How they were able to get those to be used without like them lagging out the server is beyond me, but you know, good for them. Maybe because they have things deployed to client side instead of server side. But anyway, off of that, as there are some things added but not shown on the map, those gridded lines that span across the map are meant for marking the current front line and have no impact on gameplay. Mission rules: make sure not to block any routes using fortifications, especially the castle. Good reminder, Despo. All right, add sector. Both sectors have to be taken in specific orders, so probably Sector 1 then Sector 2, but we'll see that on the map in a second. Mission variables: 1,150 meters of render distance, no magnified optics, no NVG equipment, and only 60 build points for the defenders, so a little under half of what the normal default value is at 125. Otherwise, since we're on Op4's side, let's cover Op4 first. Op4 uniforms are going to be the modern Czech camouflage. Quick breakdown: we have platoon lead, platoon sergeant, squad leader, team leader, auto rifleman assistant, grenadier, grenadier IR. They get 40mm grenades that are cameras that you can fire in the air. They parachute back down, and then you can access that camera with the terminal. It has normal mode and night vision mode to view things from a top-down angle. Really convenient for scouting. Anyway, machine gunner assistant, combat engineer with explosives. Explosive choice being anti-tank mines, tripwire mines, throwable satchels or throwable charges, or they can just place those and set them off. Light anti-tank, medium anti-tank 1, medium anti-tank 2, recon infantry sniper, recon infantry suppressed. Those guys get the suppressed shooters. Designated marksman, so they have SVDs. I always note that because it's not stated in the loadout what they have. The sniper, crew lead, crewmen, pilots, medics, and then the base kit. Loadouts for these guys are going to be the SA-58 AK clone with 416s as secondaries for GL options. The CZ-99 is their handgun. The Mini-Me as their light machine gun. Medium machine gun is going to be the FN Mag. M72 Law is going to be their light anti-tank. Sniper gets the T5000. Suppressed shooters get a choice of either a Mark 14 or an AS Val. And then crew and aviation either get a Scorpion or a 416. Depends on what they want to take. Nothing in their crew served weapons assets. They get an MI8 with 2 PKT turrets meant for defense and harassment, but we'll see how that's used. MI8s, I would say the lowest tier of attack helicopter that you can have in FNF. Usually the better tiers are something like a UH-60 with the 134 miniguns, or a Little Bird, but you know, an MI8 just a big flying target with iron-sighted PKTs. Really hard to use. 4 camas transport trucks, 2 open-topped gazes, and 2 armed gazes. Only with PKTs, the AGS is unscripted. So we ignore that part, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'm going to do this a little bit differently. Going up on Green 4, we have Arcane commanding, with Chaos as his platoon medic, Squeaks leading X-Ray, Grav as the medic, Falcon being the sniper, Barnes being the 2IC, Galil and Mobius being the suppressed shooters. Mobile being the suppressed shooter. Galil taking a suppressed Mark 14. Mobile taking an AS Val. Vagrant being Alpha HQ lead with Steve leading Alpha 1 with Tender Banner, Skip, Pepek K, and Ace Alpha 2 being led by Pupper with Agent Bennis, Legboss, Lavid, Hawkins, and Bees. Omri leading Bravo HQ. Bravo 1 being led by Mikesa with Korvac, Laser, and Zarko. Following him, Bravo 2 with Mashdor, Heffalump, Raz, and Leon. Charlie HQ has Arma Jesus leading with roster, I believe, commanding Charlie 1 with Michael Novix, Kikir, Flux, and Guy Fieri all together. Norris leading Charlie 2, not as machine gunner though, Bay being his machine gunner with N1, Scholand, and Tantal together. Swola leading Delta with Tymic leading Delta 1 with Izzo, Despo, Syke, and Sushi. Delta 2 being led by Banks with Gazag, Ash, and Tackleberry. Hotel 1, the helicopter crew is going to have Circles, Koala, and Talon under there. And you see these guys doing the enhanced movement jump circle. That's why they're like desyncing around the place. It's really because they're just flying. Otherwise, looking over at Blue 4, their gear today is going to be the modern American Ranger kits made by Maz. Since they're American, I assume they're going to be using Mark 11s, 20-round marksman rifles. Yep, that is the top rail site for it. But otherwise, they're going to be having Mark 17 Scars. So 20-round 7.62x51 NATO rifles, as well as some Mark 18s folded in for GL support. Glock 17s as their secondary. Machine guns are going to be the M249 and the 240 Golf, respectively, for the light machine gun and medium machine gun, LMG and MMG. Light anti-tank is going to be the M136. Recon's going to have the 2010 ESR and a few different camo choices if they want. Otherwise, suppressed shooters get a choice of a Mark 14 or a SOCOM 16. Both suppressed 7.62x51 NATO battle rifles. Really just cosmetic. Some minor technical choices between the both of them. I've used both in the past. I don't really see a difference between either. It's just more of a stylistic choice. Otherwise, Crew and Aviation get a choice of an MP7 or a Mark 18. I'm not going to lie, MP7, usually a good choice. I'd say the best submachine gun that you can usually get in most Arma 3 matches. If you can't get a P90. I used to diss on the P90, but then I used the P90 recently, and my god, put a marksman scope on that thing, that bitch slaps. Otherwise, Charlie gets a mortar for Blue 4. Blue 4 also gets 2 transport trucks, transport Humvee that's unarmed, an M240 Humvee. Oh, okay, so they don't get... I could have sworn they had an M2 Humvee, but they don't have that M2 Humvee anymore on the list. And then they have 2 static M2... 50 cals with only 3 boxes of 100 rounds, so not a lot of ammo for them. But, yeah, okay. Because I thought Op 4 doesn't really have a lot, but now Blue 4 doesn't really have a lot either, but they're giving Op 4 that slight vehicle advantage there. So, alright, but Blue 4 still has their mortar. Otherwise, looking on the map here, Mountain is going to be commanding for Blue 4. Maz is the 2IC, Patriot as the platoon medic, Sam leading X-Ray, with Soul being the X-Ray medic, Kiri being the sniper, Lolo being the 2IC, which means Seismo and Revanche are going to be the suppressed shooters, both going with a SOCOM 16. Nordic Prophet, sorry, I just had a little brain fart there, leading for Alpha HQ. Stark leading Alpha 1 with Mackenzie, Fred, Olaf, and Wheaton under him. Malin leading Bravo 1. There's no Alpha 2. Okay. No Bravo HQ either. All right. Malin, so Scandi Recon on Bravo 1 with, again, Malin leading Iander, Nimia, Pert, Cindy, and Yanni Finn. Bravo 2 has Nemesis leading with Cullis, Iander, Azariah, Dobbs, Cats, and Whiplash. I think Whiplash was the Bravo lead because he has the slash in his name. And you just joined in the Bravo 2 instead. All right. Patrick leading Charlie HQ. Looks like they've merged everything together. So that has Cheese, Reapers, Raven, Omega, K9, Beyond, Nick, and Olivia. Delta 2 has Bert leading. Again, I think they've merged everyone. Hanavar, Azuki, Stottenberg, Lurch, Pierce, Saddam, Dranik. Wait. Drachen, my bad. Fawns, Wise, Firefly, Jack, and Azus. So, all right, looking at the roster here, a few things to take away. Number 1, Papega with, I think Bay was on this side as well. Norris, another noteworthy name. Falcon being the sniper. I don't see Stark. Stark, another really good player. But I don't see him on Op 4, so he's either on Blue 4 or he just dipped out after round 2. Blue 4 has Scandi Recon on the defense in a town, which is their preferred setting. And then beyond that, okay, there's Stark. Right, he's leading Alpha 1. Okay. All right. So, noteworthy things, the attackers have won the previous 2 rounds. They both had Scandi and Papega attacking on that side. Falcon's been on the losing side twice, but he did really well in the first round and then choked on the second round. But then again, how the hand he was dealt, I don't think there was anything he could really do in that situation. Assets wise, this round has the least amount of armed assets for both, so it's really going to fall to the infantry gameplay. I'm a little worried because Papega on offense with people like Norris, Falcon, and Bay, I mean, that's going to be a tough card to beat. If anyone could beat it, it would be Scandi defensive in a town, but it's going to be a tough call. But let's look at Sector 1 here. Sector 1 is literally this militarized area with a few buildings that have rooftop access, or are just large in general with a lot of windows to overwatch open areas, which isn't a bad call there, in my opinion. And they're already setting the 50 cals up in high spots. We got a smoking building over here, probably got hit by artillery or something, but just has an ambience effect. But otherwise, not a bad AO, especially with this prison right here. Usually, when we see this type of building used in defensive AOs, it's a really tough nut to crack. But usually, the offensive force just swarms it and clears it out eventually. Especially if it's the first AO. So not a bad AO here, but pretty tough overall. How's Sector 2 looking? Because this was the one they said that they got to look on the SAV's briefing table. Wow. Okay, so right off the bat, we see some entrenched fortifications around to form an outer perimeter. Inner perimeter is Devil's Castle. And all of these things are destructible except the central one. So we could see satchels thrown. They got scaffoldings coming up to the side to get on the rooftop, and they got logs tipped over. So Blue 4 can just fully cover these these big open areas here. But everything's destructible except for this central area. Now, with it being a sector, though, it means that anyone in the sector that's on the defending faction can stay alive to stop the attackers from taking it. But there's a lot of places to hide in this AO, so Op4 needs to pretty much steamroll Sector 1 and then have a large number to defeat Sector 2 here. That's going to be a tough call, in my opinion. A little bit of desync on the server. 3 minutes remaining. I don't know. It's a really tough call here with that. I appreciate the front lines that were drawn, though. Op4 starting on the airfield area, though. This first AO is going to be the really tough one, though, because we have all these open areas around it. There's also some craters that I think are really going to help the attackers from moving in. Blue 4 doesn't really have anything good in defensive to hit those specific items, though, but there's still a few angles that we could see the offensive force come in. But I don't know. I think these craters are going to be a pretty good call here, but just all these open areas, Blue 4 could definitely lock it down, but it also depends on how much Blue 4 wants to commit to holding that AO here, whereas I'm just in a spectator camp, so it doesn't matter. You know, it's that DDoSer trying to get at me by getting on the server, and they're not going to get anything done, so unfortunately for them. All right. And they're extending safe start time to cover it. I mean, nice job, dude. Anyway, this AO, we have these open areas around it. Blue 4 is able to lock down the rooftops. The only issue I see is Blue 4 splitting their forces, going half and half to hold these AOs, and then Op4 defeating Blue 4 in detail by still being able to swarm the first AO and then being able to swarm the second. But if the first defense force is able to get a good amount of kills here, then Op4 is not going to have the numbers to take the castle, because that castle is the tougher AO out of these, where they could hide everything in. So if I were to put a bet down, I'd probably I'd probably put it on Blue 4, but Op4, they have a really powerful roster, so it could really go either way here. See, Blasty, it means I pissed someone off, because they've been doing this for about almost 5 weeks now, and I've pissed people off in the past, don't get me wrong. I just don't know who I've pissed off To the point they chased me through a shit ton of servers across 5 weeks, and they're probably going to do it for months at this rate. Like, they're dedicated. There's been no ransom requests or anything, so it's personal. And I have a few leads, but at the same time, I just find it all funny. It's not the Russians, though. We thought it was the Russians, but then we started noticing that they were using proxies outside of Russia, and then no one else was being affected. And there were people in Russia doing things much worse and much more pro-Ukrainian that weren't getting hit. So, you know, me being a niche target, no, it's, it's funny. I'm flattered by it, in all honesty. But all this means is I just develop a few countermeasures. They get around those countermeasures. I slowly just whittle things down. But, you know, we're going to start streaming OFCRA again. We're going to start streaming other events that were getting hit again. I just treated this as a break, in all honesty. And they're not going to be able to hit those because of the new countermeasures we put in. So they can try, though. I think me saying that kind of eggs them on. But yeah, by all means. It's a nice AO, but again, the first AO had really good AOs for the defenders. And I'm seeing really good AOs for the defenders here as well, but Op4, who were attacking, won that AO, but that was just by sheer numbers and a sheer misdeployment of defensive troops. This one, I think the defenders have the best chance out of all 3 AOs to actually win this objective. Especially when it's going to come down to the castle fight. So I'm actually really impressed that Blue 4 is going to commit like a squad and a half worth of dudes here to defend this AO. But I'm not sure if it's going to be warranted, you know? Yeah, and I was eyeing this freaking tractor as well. It's a pretty funny AO to have. Oh yeah, no, you're incredibly right. I mean, it just happens to be that way. I know, though, that I do piss people off. It's fun. Tom just shot me a message saying, hold this. Oh. He just, he's handed me his range card. Whew. Bizarre farmers markets, yeah, that just have a bunch of Ukraine, stolen Russian gear, derelicted Russian stuff. All right, a little bit of a spike there, but I think that's because a lot of people just decided to start sprinting when this AO began. But what are they planning? What are they planning? So Op4 might go for a massive push around to deploy from the north on this town, which granted, you know, that gives them a little bit of a tree line, then they can move building to building. I understand that. But Blue 4 immediately going for a push into the forest to stop any direct Russian force. But that means this force is going to be, and that's an entire squad of Blue 4 are going to be put out of position. So we're starting to see potentially a few dominoes set up that we might see a repeat of round 1 where the defenders just have forces that are in really bad positions because of a bad foresight of events.
Go Team 6.
Helix, my man.
I Liru, wow, 28 months
You'll never
of my
believe what happened.
Gunflowers well.
You won't
Falcon.
fucking believe it. You won't
Falcon.
fucking believe it. You won't fucking believe it.
Falcon.
Go look at the group of people behind the hangars on Chernagorsk airfield.
I see your dead body. Falcon. What happened? He left. Remember when I said bet against Falcon?
Arma is a efficiently no-bug game whatsoever. I fucking love this game, and it makes me want to kill myself every...
T-Far just got him. Helix, thanks for the 28-month resub. Hope you keep enjoying the operations, my friend. Hope you get a nice kick out of Falcon killing himself, but yeah, okay. If Falcon comes back, I'm going to tell him, yeah, maybe try dodging next time, Goober. But yeah, no, opt for... You know what they might be doing? And this is going to be really stupid, because every time I've seen an attacking faction try this on an ad sector that has to be done in a certain order, it always screws up. They might try to kill the castle area first, and then hit the other AO, knowing that they need to hit this AO with their full force because it's the largest one. Skill issue. Yeah, right? But yeah, no, give me an F for Falcon. Why not? Falcon and his nice little skill issue here. Because that's the second time he's died before the round began. The first one he was able to get a revive, but this one I don't think he is. But that's just funny. Yeah, so Blue 4 sent him a defensive line down here, but Op 4 just completely pushed around. They've got a helicopter that's dismounted over here. It's taken back off, and you got this force coming. They're totally going to try to back cap castle. And with Blue 4 divided with this much force, they might actually succeed. But they know that if they can't even take the castle...
I'm killable. I'm back. Back to...
The admins revived him! Oh my god! Alright, Falcon uses hacks, confirmed. Alright, cool. But no, I do appreciate that option, though, where they now revive people that die in the beginning to, like, desync and funny bugs. Because, you know, it just ruins the experience for them. But now the admins are being nice about that. That's something positive I do like about FNF right now. Brand new change that we're seeing today, and it's working out quite well for them. But if you guys want, tonight, while we're doing the Pay for Pain event, I can talk about the whole DOS and DDoS situation, because I find it really fascinating. Because this means, based off of how it's all been going down, it means there is actually someone obsessed with me. And I'll explain why. Because in the honeypots we've set up, and what they hit and don't hit, it's funny, in my opinion. It's not, again, I don't think it's a Russian. And I'll give you my theories of who it is, too. Just to bring it up and put it out in public, because why not, you know? That'll give us something to talk about while we threaten the people with zombies down for Daisy Pay for Pain tonight. But otherwise, we'll save on that there. How much do you want for a sudden platoon of furries to appear and attack Falcon? We can do wolves. Eagle, the wolves are actually really cheap. You know, we can totally do that. So, I mean, 20 bucks would get you, like, I think 15 or 20 wolves or something. We want cat girls? Unfortunately, actually, Daisy does have an AI mod now, so I could technically give cat girls at some point, but not for this event. So we got 2 scout guys up here. But feel free, if you do exclamation point menu, you can see what we're already offering. But yeah, no, they're going to literally attack the castle first. I mean, in all honesty, I agree with that plan. But look, now we got X-Ray right here. This is actually a beautiful ploy by Op4. Let me explain why. Blue 4 is going to report they have contact. They're going to now think, oh, this is the main Op4 force. They caught them as they were trying to maneuver around. So that's going to make Blue 4 commit this support over here, perhaps. But they're not going to think they're going to get attacked. Only if this group gets attacked and they blow the whistle will they think that. But I just realized someone's unconscious over here. What the hell did Azuki do? Azuki fell. Okay. He just... Anyway. Well, he's back awake now, but he just did a kickflip while he was unconscious. Azuki is still alive and kicking, ladies and gentlemen. But this is a brilliant bait strategy. Because X-Ray, they don't have to get into contact. Well, no, let me retract that. They have to get into contact, but they don't have to go for kills right now. They just need to stay alive and make Blue 4 think there's a bigger force at play here. So they're going to immediately retreat and then keep fighting. Probably in this tree line. or they're just going to keep running and force these guys to keep following them. Who's following them? It's Scandi Recon. Of course. The really hostile super force here. Ooh, Dobbs. Trying to catch Galil out of position. Galil running around on this side. Immediately starts scoping out, trying to find an angle on Dobbs here. Put some suppressed shots down. And he runs over on the other side of the wall. Galil needs to throw a smoke and pull away. Dodging GLs right now. Not a bad call. Got some suppressive fire going. This grass really going to help hide him. But now he needs to go. He needs to go quickly if he has any chance of surviving. Ooh, hold up. These guys see this large force coming in? They might have, because they're hiding in here going guns up. I think they see some OPFOR crossing. Yep, a little bit of movement right there, for example. So now Blue 4 is going to know it's a bait play. Can they relay that in time, though? You got the Humvees coming back north. All right, yep, they're relaying it. Galil, though, he's screwed. Because he didn't move. Maybe his legs got crippled. He's doing his best to suppress, but watch what happens when you hold position fighting Scandi Recon. As to be expected. Shot in the face. So if Mobile back here... Falcons come over here as well. He's trying to find some spots to snipe from, but without bipoding that sniper, it's going to be really tough for him to make those shots. You got the PKT now harassing this group to slow them down. That's not a bad call at all. But this is the main fight. If Blue 4 loses the castle, I think it's going to be GG, because OPFOR, if they just steamroll it, Blue 4 have their forces too well spaced out, too far spaced out, excuse me, to do anything about this AO proper. But look at this beautiful OPFOR deployment on the castle. Oh, man. And the opening shots are coming out. They're trying to pick off people on the castle tops as they're now trying to look up. Blue 4 putting their heads down as they are immediately suppressed. We got Marksman now and Scar 17 fire going out. Some good suppression, but again, this is all a ploy because of how OPFOR has deployed their forces in a near encirclement. By distracting these towers, they can allow for other sides of OPFOR forces to get right on top of the castle and move in. So this is really well coordinated. We got two Blue 4 guys back here that might be able to get behind this OPFOR line, but OPFOR have a really good vice grip on this AO. And they have a lot of firepower to now harass these towers and keep them pinned. This is a great strategy by Arcane. Now, can his manpower win this fight? Can they perform some good PvP actions here in the castle and secure it with minimal casualties? Or is this fight going to be an absolute slog? Because Blue 4, even with this, I mean, Saddam just got 2 kills right there. Blue 4 still have their forces pretty well spaced out around the castle. They've got them all in some good overwatch positions. OPFOR is doing their best to try to suppress them all, but you're seeing these elevated positions doing wonders for Blue 4 players right here. But even then, OPFOR just have the numbers to do this massive push. Look at these smoke charges here. Sorry to hear that, Corvo. So, I will also say this, because Nush is right. OPFOR is going to eventually take this castle. The question is, how many casualties is OPFOR going to suffer to take this castle? Because Blue 4 still have 2 squads worth of dudes that they can put on Sector 1. And it's Scandi Recon, which are their elite troops. So, how many OPFOR are going to die? And you also have to consider this. how many Op4 guys with radios are going to die, because that's all going to be really important for Op4 to coordinate their remaining forces to push that AO, because if 4 smaller weakened groups attack one at a time in the AO, then they're going to be very ineffective compared to the 2 forces defending that'll still be within radio comms of each other for Blue 4. Now, it was noted that these towers are all destructible, so I'm waiting to see Op4 get explosive specialists up here and start throwing satchels at these towers to take them out. That's what I'm really waiting for at this point. And I agree with you, Wild Fox. It's to do a full encirclement and just charge from all sides, but also have elements be supportive and suppress the towers. I mean, they're starting to work. You're starting to see people picked off, but if you have some forces move in with smoke while other forces overwatch and keep the enemy's firing position secured, you can get your foot in the door with minimal casualties. Might even be able to pick off a few of theirs. But these towers, I mean, they're still going to be a big problem. Looking at the skull counts here, I mean, Op4 is not getting out unscathed. We're seeing a few skulls here, a few wounded. There's some explosives going off. It was under a truck, though, and the truck didn't detonate. Huh. And you got that, the PKTs on that MI8 that can fly overhead and start shooting stuff. This mortar is also completely ineffective because Op4 is now pretty much closing to CQC here. Blue 4 redeploying some of their stuff. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Arcane's in trouble. Infidels found him. Arcane immediately switched in the driver's seat. Falcons died.
Fucking boring round.
Well, I mean, you had the boring job. Look to the north.
I already ult up forward. Let me open up your stream.
Oof. All right.
I don't know. I fucking somehow 3 headshots. It's not enough for 338, but you know, I guess it's sideways today. It's only the crew.
Op4 charging up these towers. Taking casualties, but they are starting to put pressure. We're seeing some Blue 4 guys getting picked off here. We still have a Delta force up here that's completely ineffective.
It was a shit map to snipe on anyway. Like this double pass would have been ass.
We have mortars firing. I think they're going to the north here. They're trying to range the one group that's still harassing them from the outside, but now we're starting to see the skulls starting to pick up, especially with Pepega. A lot of forces under Charlie have gone down, and those are the elite troops for Op4. So if Blue 4 can continue to hold and get a massive amount of kills here, that just might be what they need, but they are going for an entire castle clear, though. That's another issue. If this sector was active, they'd only need to kill Pierce and Burt to take this objective, and they can move on to the other sector. But because the other town needs to be taken before this sector opens up... Oh, a lot of Op4 just went down right here as this building cooked off. Oh, God. A lot of bodies right there. Op4 have the grueling job of trying to take every little thing, otherwise they're getting shot in the back, but they are starting to get cut down pretty hard. Blue 4 sending in a little bit of QRF from those Humvees to now come in from the outside. I think Op4's in a lot of trouble here. We still have a few dudes on the outskirts. They're not going to be able to do anything, though. Blue 4 might actually be able to hold. Because Op4 is... they've taken too many casualties. Look at all those skulls. I think this is GG. I don't think Op4 have the number anymore. Because you got to consider, again, there's a full squad and a half already on that other sector. Blue 4 still has about 8 to 10 dudes in this sector. Op4 around 15 to 20.
Op4 Platoon HQ is dead, by the way.
Yep. No, he's not. Arcane was able to drive away.
Oh, was he?
Yep. Infidel put a few shots on him, but he was in a Vic, and then he just drove away. Some mortars going to the north. They're short-ranging it just to see if they can catch anything out of position. But Blue 4, because they're still in these heavily entrenched positions, Op4 has no choice but to assault them because the sector's not active. They were really going for this castle to have less defenders. And then they could back cap. But I said this when we were putting all this out. Oh, Blue Force actually blue on bluing because they don't realize that some of their forces are coming in from different angles here. But... oh. Again, I've never seen a back cap strategy in a sequential ad sector mission work in the attacker's favor. Every time I've seen the attackers go for the sectors out of order, they lose. And this is just going to add to that example. Even though, in my opinion, it was a good idea, but Blue 4 were just, too fortified on these towers. Op 4 should have had that helicopter in support as well to suppress these towers as well. It wouldn't have probably lasted, but at least they would have been able to, keep these towers down. And even then, they should be helping. Instead, they're flying around over there, so I don't even know why the helicopter's doing that. But, I mean, Op 4, we're down to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the castle. Blue 4 coming around, too, with their suppressed gunners here. Revanche just got his first kill. It's a cute little cave complex. Wow! Great shooting here by Seismo, getting a double kill, causing both of those Op 4 guys to fly away. But it's over. In my opinion, it's over. I don't think it was a lack of recon. I think it was just a lack of utilizing that helicopter, but also, again, because you can't take the sector, you have to focus on taking that entire castle, and Blue 4 has it well fortified. Op 4 did a great job of assaulting. Don't get me wrong, they got all the way up to some of these towers and dealt a good amount of casualties, but it just wasn't enough. This is a really good defensive AO here. The one saving caveat was only a portion of it is in the sector itself. And again, it's only been Pierce and Burt who have been in that sector this entire time. But again, because they're trying to back cap because they haven't taken the other sector, it forces Op 4 to have to clear everything out for this attack to be worthwhile. And it just didn't work. When it came down to the close CQC, Op 4 was able to hold their towers because they spaced out their forces really well. And it just wasn't enough. Yeah, right, just spot people hiding behind walls. Easy game. Now you got them firing up. I really don't understand what that MI8's doing at this point. More mortars slowly moving to the rest of Delta's position. You got two members of Charlie coming up here. A little bit of recon, but this is GG. Yes, Blue 4 held, not Op 4. My bad, if I misspoke. Now you got... I really don't understand the point of that helicopter. He's stuck. Jesus, Seismo. He got stuck moving on the scaffolding texture, so he couldn't maneuver. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, no, I mean, priority target for that aircraft should have been taking out this artillery position. Granted, it's been a bit useless, but just goes to show that PKT should have focused on the towers. Now you got these Blue 4 guys coming around. Just took out one guy. Mortar landed a little to the left here. Looks like one Blue 4 guy was just taken out by Tackle. Patrick's moving up. He's on 2 kills. Righto, Falcon. Taking all the ammo out of the base. Okay. Falcon, I will say this, though. If you're coming to pay for pain tonight, don't bring stuff because everyone starts with the same gear. So don't take the ammo because you're not going to be able to use it. Yeah, everyone starts with the same kit. So anything you bring is going to be put in a locker. Everyone's going to be given the same thing. It's what people voted for, Falcon. I'm sorry. There's a shit ton of caches in the AO, though. There is. I think there is a Scar H in the AO in a cache somewhere, but you got to find it. More mortars. They're landing it close, but it's over at this point. I mean, just look at the skull count here. They still have Delta 1. Why is Delta 1 in a truck all the way over here not committed to the fight? Maybe they were supposed to be the force that went into... I don't know.
Send in Goat Team 6.
Drunk Firebear, thanks for giving Falcon a sub. Hope you both keep enjoying the operations, both watching and playing, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Is shooting someone out of reflex in DayZ pay for pain considered PvP? Yes. If you maliciously do something to another player, it's considered PvP and it'll get you disqualified. Now, if you throw a grenade at a group of zombies and another player happens to run on top of that grenade and die, then it's fair game. But we're literally, the only reason the settings are the settings for this event is because that's what the majority of the players voted for, you know? You got Skip over here. In a 1v1, he wins his 1v1. The other Blue 4 guy, Kiri, gonna come around and take him out. And I've got some people to add to the consent list because they DM'd me. But let me check the RSVP list right now because I had 23 people that wanted to show up. I asked for a final RSVP check. And we are up to 13 people. I have 24 kits pre-made, though. Oh! Oh! Oh, Kiri! Kiri, you ass! 3 kills with the frickin' 338. Ouch. See, what is the freaking MI8 doing here with the PKTs harassing this AO? It should have been helping with the damn castle. I don't get it. This is over. Op 4 outnumbered like 3 or 4 to 1 at this point. Exactly, you just hear the pew and it's like, oh, GG. There he is. And now they're firing mortars to the south. It just goes to show, though, Blue 4's communication is completely cut off at this point. But all Blue 4 needs to do to win is hold Sector 1. If they can hold Sector 1, they're fine. Ooh, blue on blue. Remember, kids, friendly fire isn't. He's friendly wiggling right now. Looks like they stopped after realizing he was a friendly. At least the little wiggle of head left or right makes people rethink their actions. Op 4 doesn't really have any manpower left. They have a full group in a car. They have a little bit of their X-ray left, and then a few dudes to the north, and then the MI8, and that's it. They literally have, I think, 12 dudes, whereas Blue 4 is up to like 20 to 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, they have command in the helicopter as well. So they're up to 16, but Blue 4 is up to like 30. So it's more of a 2 to 1 ratio, but Op 4 is also heavily spaced out. They're going for a landing. Not sure if they got hit or not, but the engine still sounds fine. So I think their main rotor got hit. Their engine was fine, though. So that's why it was going down. Falcon, I have Master Chief Collection. I've just never opened it because I've never had the damn time. Yeah, it's nice to win. Now, if you're not even playing, you just bet Scandi Recon. Bloodwind's texting me from the grocery store. All right, chat, what do you want to talk about? Because it's pretty much over at this point. We got 20 minutes left, but it's over. I don't really see any upsets happening because they have to fight Scandi Recon in full strength in round 1. I just don't see it. Pickle delivery service in DayZ when? Maybe as a meme. Yeah, I genuinely don't know at this point. Scandy's Blue 4. Yeah, Blue 4 is winning, Sev. You're fine. If you bet Op 4, I think you're screwed at this point. But, like, even then, we have, the Delta 1 car is now going all the way to the south. It's so weird. All right. Maybe they're going to rush in from the south? Yep, that's exactly what they're going to do. They're coasting as well. All right. Shots north. That might be the two Op 4 guys. Maybe taking long range fire. So what's your opinion of an updated infusion engine being used to make the next Arma game and likely any future Armas? I know a lot about that, actually. And Bohemia doesn't like that I know a lot about it, apparently. So there's currently a game being developed right now called Arma Reforger. It was announced on a public Twitter post about a year ago. Oh, God. That man immediately annihilated. That man immediately... Oh, more immediately annihilated. Woo. 1 second. HE going in. And yeah, like I said, it was just a prank, bro. Chill. Delta Farce. That's a good one. Sushi literally ran all the way back here. You still got Timec up here, but ooh. More people being deployed on the left flank. You have these two guys starting to infiltrate into the area here. But as I was saying, it's called Arma Reforger. It showed a few pictures of a map called... God, it was an Arma 1 ported map. You see it in Cup. The name escapes me. But it was pictures from the bottom right part of that map. It wasn't Everon. I want to say Nogovo? Does Nogovo ring a bell? It's the island that has that bridge in the middle of it on the southern side. It's got on the top right, those mountaintops on the top right of the map. It also has that island with an airstrip. It's got those deserts on the bottom left. Is it Nagovo? I think it's Nagovo, but it showed some images from the bottom right area of Nagovo. It's not Sarani. Sarani doesn't have... It's not Sarani. Oof! Does the little hand wag, ragdoll. But I'm pretty sure it's Nagovo, now that I think about it. Because I've done campaign work in Nagovo. But it showed some remastered pictures of Nagovo in the Infusion engine. And it had the caption Arma Reforger. And the reason Bohemia is mad at me is because when I hosted Splendid Squad back in September, I put that in as a meme as an objective for the Splendid Squad to capture, was information about Arma Reforger, and I made Drewski freak out in excitement about it. But it was public information, and they're mad because I advertised it that way. But as far as I'm aware, that's going to be their next big project for Arma, as they, whatchamacallit, as they bide their time with the creative DLC program, the CDLC program. And that's going to be a test run for Arma 4. Well, Dan, that's another story entirely. This is just what I've heard through the grapevine. But I don't blame the non-vetting for happening, because to the people it went to, I don't think they knew that they were supposed to be hush-hush about it. Because, let's put it this way, because I don't want to potentially piss anyone off when I say this, but when a company wants attention on something, they'll put Twitter posts about it. They'll get people hyped up about something. But when they want to then potentially backtrack it to make it secretive, because maybe they want to now be a surprise for whatever reason, because they have a different change in direction, they will pull back on everything and not speak about it at all. Because they said Arma Reforger was merely a tech demo. But anyone who's been keeping up with Arma and Bohemia knows that that's not a tech demo. That's gonna probably be like a full-on thing. But no publicity is bad publicity. Yeah, I mean, I'm walking a tightrope right now because I don't want to piss anyone off, but let me put it like this. There's people that I would always talk to about stuff. In terms of things like these. And suddenly, one of the topics that we would talk about, Arma Reforger, was now something that no one wanted to talk to me about. That's how I kind of know something's going on. Because they probably had to sign a bunch of NDAs going forward with it. And of course, I don't push. But it is important to note that, hey, if all of a sudden people aren't allowed to talk to me about public knowledge, that means they probably know something that's going on, which means I can't, which means something is going on. But again, that's part of the meta of everything, but this is me just stalling time to watch Op4 die at this rate, because they're just getting their butts kicked. But Barb, thanks for the raid. I'll see you for the NA branch, buddy. Large intellect, Liru. I mean, it's just deduction. And the really funny thing is this is all based off of a Twitter post. That was public knowledge. I mean, hell, I'm gonna Google it right now.
I'm back, baby.
Yeah, people are putting videos about on Arma Reforger as well. Since 2021 and 2022, the latest one I see here is something in February 18th. Someone going through the information there. And there's information out on Arma Reforger right now. So, yeah, like, it's public knowledge at this point. But now that they're being really hush-hush about it, I would expect something soon. Probably within the next 1 to 3 years. Hey, Scott. And RSM, thanks for the 4-month resub. Welcome back. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Op 4 is down to 4 dudes. One of them died up in the tower. Looks like they got a few kills up here. They knocked Blue 4 down to 3 guys, which is great, but this will be over in 11 minutes. Ooh, excuse me. It's apparently for both console and PC. Yep, that's no surprise there. You know, Arma, I think, does have an Xbox version. Or, no, I think that's Arma 2. I'm not sure if I don't think Arma 3 had an Xbox version, but Arma 2 definitely had one. So I'd imagine, because DayZ, I think, does have a console version. It's the Infusion engine. So I'd imagine they would, since it's also Infusion engine, they would have a, whatchamacallit, an Xbox console release as well. Now, here's the really funny thing, in case there's anyone reporting to an ARMA executive right now, because I have had these conversations, and I have, on 2 separate occasions, when I talk about ARMA stuff, gotten a message from someone close to the company, or tied to the company, telling me to shut the fuck up, which I love. Here's how you get me to shut up. And I tell them this every time. Make me sign an NDA, and I will shut up about it. Let me know what's going on. Put some legal paperwork on me, and I will shut up about it. Guaranteed. But they won't. There was one group of people within the whole Bohemia circle that made me sign an NDA after I predicted a few things. Never spoken about what they were doing since. And that's been going for... Well, actually, I can't even tell you when I signed that NDA. So, yeah. Wink. NDAs, man. Until I sign one, I can openly speak about what I think I know. Now, ND's nuts. Here's another thing I want to talk about, though. Arma expansion, or excuse me, DayZ expansion recently released an AI mod. Oh, who is that?
Are you live?
I still am live. Yes, Patriot just got a sniper kill with the T5000 and just freaking double tapped 2 dudes. Holy shit. All right. Now he's getting shot at in the ass and knocked out by the remains of X-Ray. But who is this with me in the channel now?
That's Akor.
Who?
Leggy. Akor.
I must be drunk right now. Can you say it one more time for me, please?
Akor.
Arcor, how are you doing, buddy?
Pretty good.
Sorry, we were just talking about NDAs and Arma Reforger while we were waiting for Op 4 to eventually attack the remainder of the AO and all die out.
Did someone say NDAs?
Well, here we go. Now everyone's in this channel.
I've just been lurking here.
No, you've been circling overhead like a hawk.
Send in GOAT Team 6.
Truck Fireberg and SL Dream a sub. Thank you to you both. Hope you both keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Still have 8 minutes here. AT going up, but yeah. Shit.
A roller coaster of emotion.
Well, yeah, so Wild, I will say this. The original plan
I got
for
desync
Arma
off
4 has gotten completely off the rails because of a few company decisions within Bohemia. I don't really speak about that anymore, though, because it's all old,
I'm trying to ask you,
not going to happen anymore.
Who's winning?
Who's winning?
How's third round been? Who's winning?
Blue 4, decisively. This has been the first round of the night where the defenders are probably going to win, if not completely. Round 2 was a total stomp out, but it got a little dicey in the end. Round 1 was, should have had the defenders win, but they made some pretty dumb calls.
Always comes down to the plan. Not
Yep.
on the 10 times.
NA and then pay for pain.
Hey man, I got 15 kills. It wasn't enough. I didn't run an event.
Falcon, I told you, it's not about kills.
No, you never said shit.
Falcon, you keep cutting off before you can finish your sentences. Don't underestimate the
You
big
never said anything,
PP2000
Arco. What do
energy.
you mean?
But yeah, the genius behind what Bohemia is doing right now, though, is Arma Reforger is going to be the pet project to give them the experience to use the Infusion engine and to develop something with it, and then they can use the knowledge they gain from that to then program Arma 4, or even as a basis for it as well. You too, Arcor. Thanks for dropping by. Originally, it was going to be with the DayZ crew, but a lot of the DayZ people left to pursue other projects. And I think the people that left that studio made a new studio, and now they're coming out with another game. So, but with Reforger starting as a quote-unquote tech demo, I'm not sure if they even planned a few years ago to have it in the first place. They might have done. Grenade blocked out by that tree. He's friendly wiggling him because they're confused, and now they all just circle and eliminate that one guy. All right, last enemy is in Delta 2. He's got 5 minutes to do something. It's Banks, who is up 3 kills, and he's taking an enemy 416 with a GL attachment. So let's see how he does. Is he going to be able to win this? Absolutely not, because 5 minutes to take that sector and the other sector, no way in hell. And again, Blue 4, I mean, they're outside of that one sector. Is there a Vic in here for him to somehow kill 5 people and then drive up there and take the sector after blitzing in? I don't see one. Therefore, it's over. Literally, Scandy just charged up there. Whew. But yeah. It's going to be a fun day. So again, we're going to be taking a break. FNF NA starts in an hour and 15 minutes. I'm just going to mute myself. People keep jumping into that damn channel. I don't mind, but literally like 5 different people over the past 20 minutes have gotten in there. So NA is going to be in an hour 15. And then we're going to be covering rounds 1 and 2 of NA. And then we're going to immediately go right into DayZ prep for the pay for pay. Reservations are up for the Pay for Pain event. We're already starting to list a few things down. But I can show you a little bit of behind the scenes as I set it up, and then we'll start it officially at 11:30. And we'll probably be done by 1 p.m. How does DayZ Pay for Pain work? Simple. You pick stuff on the menu. You shoot me the money through a donation. You can write down what that donation's for. I then either, if we're in the event, I then spawn it, or I put it on the reservation list, and while we're setting up, I have it all pre-spawned. Righto, Scott. Thanks for dropping by. Good night to you as well. Now they're all just suppressing poor Banks here. You're going to see all these Blue 4 forces start running down to suppress him, but Banks is in hell at this point, 3 minutes. Don, if you're here, pay it out to Blue 4, because there's no way Banks can make this. Simply because of the sectors. So. Whew. Thank you, Don. Unless there was another one of my moderators that did it. Thank you to that moderator. What a messy round. Here it is. And there it is. Op 4 eliminated. All right, guys. We will be back in an hour and 15 minutes for rounds 1 and 2 of NA and then Pay for Pain. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. If you want to put some reservations down, DM me on Discord or wait till we do NA. Otherwise, cheers, guys. Have a good one and go operate operationally.